and welcome to the Paranormal Sideshow. I'm your host, John Edwards, and joined as always by my lovely wife, Stacey.
Hello.
And we're still alive. Mm-hmm. And thank good golly Miss Molly for that, because we're not alive because of the nasty hotel we stayed at the No-Tell Motel, Motel Hell, the beach hell from No Mail. It was, well, here's what happened. So we were on this little excursion, if you will. And on the excursion, we went down to see AEW Dynamite.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, front row.
Yeah, if you will. And she's not even a pro wrestling fan, so it's a lot of fun for me because I don't know why she turns into a pro wrestling fan when we go. But
it's just the fun of the live event. And
she starts chants.
Yeah,
I mean,
you get into it with the crowd. That's the
like,
fun part.
Yeah, she really enjoys it, and that's kind of awesome. So I like it just for that. So we go to a lot of those together. Anyway, so we're down there for that, and then we're like, I really want to see the water. We've talked about this a lot. The water chills me. Chillax. Come in. Watch the so I'm looking online, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have oceanfront. I got to. Why do you go to the beach to not have oceanfront? Now, back when I was a teenager and all I cared about was hanging out with my friends.
Right.
I didn't care if I was oceanfront.
Right.
It didn't matter as much.
You just want it cheap.
And I want an inexpensive hotel room as well. But, now, as we're a couple years older than that.
Just a few.
I got to have oceanfront if I'm there. If I'm going out of my way, wasting a day off of work, because God knows I don't have many.
That's right.
You know when I started getting less?
When
they took vacations away. When they said, all right, you're not just going to be at like Dick Grayson level. You're at Bruce Wayne level. So that's when hashtag Bruce Wayne Job started, right? So when hashtag Bruce Wayne Job started, because I don't talk about the name of my where I work on here, it's a conflict of interest, don't you know? So when that started, they're like, oh, hey, guess what? My name is Juicy from accounting, and, well, I got to tell you, you don't have to have any kind of vacation anymore. It's unlimited, if you will. I'm like, I'd rather have the dates that I've earned over a decade. Like, just give me 4 weeks and say, like it used to be, and just say, you got 4 weeks, pal. Better use those good, huh? Yeah. Here's some sick time, too, for those migraines. Once a quarter. I know you get them. Get sick time. You just put it in there. That's right. Well, guess what? I barely used those 4 weeks. It's hard to get those 4 weeks in when you actually care about what you do. It just is. So, but I still tried. I felt better about it. This is like, we know how busy life can be, and we want you to feel as comfortable as possible. And ever since that's happened, it's teetotal G-ilt the entire time.
Well, that's because if they're not officially giving you a vacation, they can still call you.
Yeah, they do. So
that's how that works.
No joke. I get more calls from like people like above me that on my vacation than ever.
They know you're not busy.
It's like the biggest rib ever. But I digress. So I'm on one of these vacations.
This personal time off.
First full week of the year, don't you know? It's the last time I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I like the don't you know thing. But I'm like halfway through the year. Well, more than halfway through the year. Yeah. Damn. So anyway, we're up here and trying to celebrate, trying to have a little nice time, a little mommy daddy time. So we found this room, and the wonderful and mysterious Raja best person in the world. She's like, you know what? These tarot readings are doing pretty good for me. I'm going to get your room for you. Just get it. Just get that ocean front, beach front. Because I was teeter-tottering on it. And she's like, nah, you just do it. Have a good time. Smell the ocean.
We did smell the ocean.
So we got this room, and let me tell you, it's funny because this is going to lead into our list.
Okay.
False advertising. It's a beautiful thing in America and worldwide. Why stop in America? We've got listeners worldwide. Have you ever had any false advertisements come your way? Boy, howdy, would we like to hear about it. Because there's nothing better than just a little bit of broken dreams for your morning cold coffee and, regret. So anyway, we go to this hotel, and I could tell right off the bat that it didn't look like the advertised picture. Okay? So we get there, and let me tell you, we had oceanfront. And I made sure because there was one that said obstructed oceanfront and oceanfront. So we didn't get the obstructed oceanfront. So that would make me think, in classy hotels I've stayed in before, obstructed's when it's one of the rooms on the side, not the one facing.
Right. Sometimes they call that a partial ocean view, but
the Atlantic. No, not this one.
Not this one.
So it also said it had a balcony. A balcony. So I started thinking about some of our best vacations from times past. Oh my God. When we dared to have hashtags with open doors facing the beach with the wind coming in, all these wonderful hashtag moments. And I'm thinking about, I could use a little hashtag ocean time. It'd be pretty nice, So we get there, and as soon as I walk in, this lady, and I won't say the name of the motel, Blue something. I could say half the name, and it's not like,
right.
I didn't even say the beach.
That's right. So there you go.
So anyway, I think this chick's name was Myrtle. But so we're at this beach, and not to be named. And I walk in, and this chick, listen, right off the bat, before I even said hi, she's like, y'all didn't order the oceanfront room, did you? You didn't think it was really oceanfront, right? I mean, I got this sign right here.
There's the sign.
There was a mother hubbing sign, laminated, framed, leaned back on the counter, talking about the issue with what it says online about oceanfront and what the reality of oceanfront really is. So I'm like, okay. All right. Because I hadn't had a good week. See, I'm not going to get into all that, but it had been a bad week. So just imagine all these things go wrong, except for Dynamite. Dynamite was nice.
Dynamite was great.
That's a good time.
Savannah's beautiful.
Bad week. So we're getting into this, and I was like, oh, this ain't good. I mean, I even look at Stacey, and I'm like, so I start talking to this wonderful woman, and I was like, well, it said there was like a difference, and she goes, no. Obstructed is like bad. It's facing like over there. And unobstructed is, you can see the ocean really good. But it's
from
still
your balcony.
It's still on the side, but it's from your balcony. Now, I still didn't realize the balcony gimmick, okay? So I'm still like thinking, oh, I'm mad. Stacey's like, she knows. She's like, what do you want to do?
You want to stay?
I was like,
you want to go?
I was like, yeah, no, let's just stay. Trust me, this woman had no problem understanding how upset I was. Okay, there was no misunderstanding this whatsoever. And so we go up to our room, and oh dear God, the smells. When we go to this place, I'm thinking, this is kind of weird. The rooms are on the outside. And, like where you enter from the outside, like we're Sam and freaking Dean. And guess what the balcony was? The balcony was the thing that you walk to your room on because there's no back door to this place.
Nope.
They were counting that as a balcony, the thing that all
the little porch area
all
where
the
you go
crack
to your...
whores walk back and forth all night long. Okay? So I'm like, holy God. Because at first, Stacey's like, you want to take the equipment? Because this is normally something we do at the beach.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm all mad. I'm like, no. I don't take the equipment. Why won't I take the equipment?
I think he said it just like that.
Let's go inside. We'll make best of it. I'm smiling. So we go in. Jesus Christ. It smells so bad. And I was just like, that's an interesting smell. Because it was. It wasn't poo. It wasn't dead body. It was interesting.
It was like damp ocean.
No, don't say damp.
Sorry.
Like never describe a smell ever again.
It's better than moist.
No, damp's worse in this instance.
Okay.
In this instance. Anyway.
It was interesting.
So I'm like, all right, F this. I'm gonna lay back, just enjoy myself. At this point, I'm just glad there's 2 beds. Okay, so is she. We're just done.
Yeah,
just done. I'm gonna eat my damn nuts that I've had an addiction problem with. I got addicted to nuts. It's a long problem with just bags of nuts, spicy freaking nuts. So I'm sitting there. I'm gonna eat my nuts, and I'm just gonna maybe walk the beach later. But, we got this equipment in here, and somebody definitely died up in this place.
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely haunted.
I mean, somebody died up in this room.
Probably a couple people.
This thing,
I'm glad we didn't bring a black light.
The things you shouldn't mess with. Dead is dead. So we went back and got the equipment. Because if you saw this room, you'd get the equipment. So we're sitting in there. I do a little call and response. Homegirl's not really into it because, I'm not in a good mood. She's just going to get some sleep. And she's like, I'm going to wear the hooker clothes tomorrow and make the day much better. Because I can't help it. She dresses she gets all dressed up and has the little camisole on and all this stuff, getting out of the shower. And I'm just like, hi. How are you doing today? You look really nice. You really do. It's all good from that point on. So anyway, I do an investigation by myself. Some guys might go take care of themselves in different ways. Not me. Nope. I call and respond by myself. That's how I do it. So I start messing around. No, nothing. There was a couple of weird, not spirit box.
Ovilus.
Thank you. A couple of weird Ovilus responses because it always we have this mommy thing that always happens. But I was expecting beach, water, death, mermaid, and it's just like mommy. I'm like, no, not tonight. I turn it off because that usually gets really weird after that. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm just watching A Deadliest Catch of all things. I'm sitting there beside the ocean, and this is how dumb I am at this point. This is how tired and upset and over it I am. I'm thinking, you know what's cool? I can hear the ocean, and I'm watching Deadliest Catch on this crappy TV that has a line through it. but I can hear the ocean, so it's almost like ultimate surround sound. And I can kind of smell it a little bit.
Right.
It smells like crab boat in this room.
Right. You get that fish smell already.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make the most of this.
Right.
Sitting there by myself. I watched 5 episodes in a row.
I made the most of it.
She's asleep.
I sleep
At 9 o'clock. So I was enjoying the hell out of myself. 2 o'clock comes. And I had just recently done a little talking to the ghost. Because I did hear something in the room. Nothing major. You know, it's probably the rats. But I heard something because I had the lights off. And I was like, you know, this is like 15 minutes before all this crap happened. Say 1:45. I'm like, you know how you do. You know how you do. If anybody in here, make a sound. This time, when I say it, knock on something. Last chance. You know, Ghost is sitting there like...
You forgot to do the thing where you said, if you don't do it this time, or if you do, we're going to leave. You forgot to do that one.
And then it does.
Yeah.
And you don't leave. I just pictured a ghost going...
Like all up in your face.
Yeah, just sitting there like so happy, just like, what was that, sailor? So
maybe your ghost.
Definitely my ghost.
Anyway,
nothing. I'm back to Deadly's Catch. It's okay. I'm enjoying myself. I'm on vacation. That's when I hear it. Stacey. Stacey. And I hear it even bigger, but this time I hear like that, like the latch on the door, like the electronic thing from where the key thing goes. And you know, like when your electronic key swipes and it makes that,
it goes,
yeah,
or something like that.
I hear that. And then I see the damn door moving. And I was just like, and I had a sock, don't ask me why, wound up in a ball, like baseball level that I'd been playing with. And I was just like, whoosh, right in the face, right?
Threw it right at me.
If I just opened that door, that woman had been dead just from wiring her up. Stacey, though, from a dead sleep, she's like, gets hit in the face with that sock. She's like, straight up Undertaker, Royal Rumble, just like. So I'm like, as quiet as can be, somebody's at the door.
Before I could even say anything, I couldn't even ask him why he threw something at me. He just had that look on his face, and he was like gesturing towards the door.
Yeah, so I go over, and long story, very short on this, because you've heard the good parts. Crack is bad. Crack is not a good thing for this society.
Nope.
So there was a woman, a not together woman, nasty woman, with and she did have a knife.
She did.
She had a knife. She had a key card for our room.
Yeah, like a pass card kind of thing.
And the only thing that saved us was the deadbolt. Had the deadbolt on. I don't know. I mean, listen. Now, if the deadbolt hadn't been on, you'd have never heard this story because there'd be one dead whore in the ocean.
That would be a little bit more haunted.
Because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and guess who's not sticking around Myrtle Beach answering questions? This guy. I didn't start it. You came up my room with a knife.
Right.
Okay, I'm just saying. So, anyway, we didn't get broke into. But you know what we did do? And this is the crazy part of all of it. I slept like a baby right after that.
You're like, I guess that was the break-in attempt for the night. I can sleep now.
I don't know why, but I sat back down thinking, well, it's a good thing.
Adrenaline dump, probably.
I was thinking, it's a good thing I was awake. Just completely asleep. And the next morning, we's like, Well, you know what? At least we got a story. I mean, it might be the worst vacation ever, but we got a story.
Dynamite was fun.
Dynamite was fun. That we kept telling ourselves that. That's how you know that you're like really having something bad happen in your life. Dynamite was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Went
good.
smooth.
Very smooth.
Not a lot of traffic.
No, we got in and out really good.
Good parking spot.
What a good idea you had on that. That was awesome. Get right beside the building.
It's great.
Awesome. So, anyway, that was that.
Should we mention that we were in Savannah, Georgia for Dynamite, and it stormed so badly that we couldn't see any of the other sides.
So we had, guess what I had planned?
What's that?
We were going to go in Carriage Ride on the Haunted Tour. We were going to go stomping through a couple of little haunts. We were going to visit a plantation.
Yeah, not in that weather.
And, we were going to eat at this restaurant on the island, on one of the islands that's really famous. I even got recommendations and because I wanted to make it really special and romantic. So we didn't do that.
No.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do any of that. Yes. Next time.
It was good. So, false advertising.
Right.
Don't do it. Beware of it. But if it happens to you, let us know because we really want to know. But I got to also say this. Paranormal.tv. Hello, everyone at Paranormal TV. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday night, wherever you may be or whatever day you're watching us on. I just want you to enjoy Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights are a good Tuesday night.
Not much going on Tuesday night.
No, not really.
It's a good night to be good on.
Not really. So whatever you're listening to, some guy was driving down the road right now. It's Friday afternoon. He's like, first of all, I ain't watching you. Second of all, it's Friday. You ain't got no damn job, and you ain't got S to do. I gotta say S. Sorry. S-A. So, we got some really big news.
We do.
We got some big news.
We do.
Do you want me to let you announce it?
No. You're the good announcer one. You have the announcer voice.
Oh, you're just being nice because you're not sure what I'm wanting to announce.
I mean, there are a couple things, so I don't actually know where you're going. But so you go ahead, and I'll rah-rah behind you.
All right. I'll let you rah-rah me from behind. So, only once. I'll try anything once. So, we have been officially announced for this year's Scarefest.
We have.
That's right. John and Stacey Edwards and our Barrel of Monkeys will be there. Paranormal Sideshow coming in for Scarefest. We'll be there every day for every hour it's open. And as you can see right now, if you're watching this, if you're not watching this, I want you to see it in your head because that's the best place to be. We're really excited. We love Scarefest.
Yes.
We love Lexington, don't we?
We love Lexington.
Do we love Lexington, though?
We do. We love it a lot.
How much do we love Lexington?
We love Lexington so much that we are moving there.
That's right.
Very soon.
So we are moving to Lexington, Kentucky. By the time you listen to this, we may not be there yet.
We probably won't be there yet.
Yeah.
We're not like moving tomorrow.
Yeah, no. But we are definitely moving. We're currently going through places and looking through places and trying to make sure there's no crack whores. But we will
make sure it's the real ocean view
of Lexington, Kentucky. There was some guy said he had the perfect one for us. So we're really excited about it. We've moved, we've lived everywhere. I mean, literally, like a lot of places.
A lot of places.
So this one, though, is one of those destinations that we've wanted to do for a long, long time. And we have some good friends up there, two of which we just were talking to on their show, Mr. Wes Forsyth and Scarefest Radio himself. So old friend, good friend, Wes and Anita are wonderful, fabulous people. We just did their show last week, so go find that archived. Listen to that. Still put a comment on there just to let them know you dropped by after the fact. They're live on Friday nights. You should always check it out because Wes is just fun, man. He's just fun. He actually used to have the Paranormal Filler podcast because he was the guy we would call when we had guests cancel. So,
which, funnily enough, happens a lot.
Did you just say funnily?
I did, and I'm kind of regretting it now.
You said funnily enough?
Yes, I did.
It's fine. We're moving on.
Don't sit there and act like you don't make up words.
Yeah. I make up words. I don't accidentally say funnily.
Okay.
We're moving to Lexington.
Yay!
AEW was good.
AEW was fantastic.
Yeah. So, Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo was better than the first Breaking.
Okay.
Just letting you know. It's these kind of things people tune in for. Little facts.
Factoids.
They might get in a fight later. Somebody going, Breaking 2. And they're like, no, Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo was better.
I think so.
Because they're basically the same movie, but you had Electric Boogaloo in the title of the other.
Right. Well, the thing is I remember that one. I've seen them both, but I remember Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. I love the name.
Pumping Iron 2 was better than Pumping Iron.
I've not seen those. I can't comment on that.
And it's night and day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously. It's night and day. If I remember correctly, because of both movies, I think both was like the fact that the first one was more like almost like a documentary type thing. Not a documentary, but kind of like a documentary. And the second one, they were trying to push a story in there on both of them. Anyway, good stuff. The band Wet Leg, I'll be seeing them in Lexington. They're coming to Lexington. So I'm very excited about that.
New favorite band for him.
My favorite band right now. And you can have current favorite bands. They don't touch your all-time favorite bands.
Right.
It's a different list. It really is. Wet Leg. Go listen to Wet Leg.
They're adorable.
Go find all their videos. Mm-hmm. And they've only got one album so far, but they also did a cover of a song. And the funny thing of this is when people do a cover of a song that I don't know, it gets me excited, especially if it's a band that I like. I'm like, well, I want to know what they like, what inspired them. So there's this song, okay? These Australian kids did this song, and it's called what, Smoko?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Smoko is the name of the song. You'll thank me later. So if you ever like punk or anything like that, it's really in a punk vein type song, but good Lord, it's in my head. Pretty crazy. And listen, if you are not a patron, shame, we all know your name. All right, be a patron. When you're a patron, you just feel better about yourself. You add 6 inches of height. You add 4 inches of excitement. You add pizzazz. You do. You add pizza. You add everything you've ever wanted to add. Angels get wings. Cats.
Are you like going through everything you've said for the Patreon? Like on every show?
Not everything. So, hi. I'm John Edwards. I hate to ask, at times like this, but at patreon.com right now, /Paranormal Sideshow, you can donate only $1.99 a month. And with your pledge of
$2.99 a month.
Inflation is horrible. Inflation. You can decide to give anything you decide to give when you decide to give it. And we'll be okay with that. But the equipment costs a lot. It does. It really does. The bandwidth and everything we use, it costs a lot. The fact that for Scarefest we're trying to do some special things that are going to cost a lot.
Yeah, actually.
Like a lot.
We'll still do them.
Yeah. If we say we're going to do them, we have to do them.
Oh, we might do them.
No, I was trying to commit.
Oh, okay. I was just giving you an out. I don't know.
We'll wait till next show. We'll see if those chapters get written.
Okay.
And then we'll announce it.
And then we'll see.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Only you can prevent forest fires. Unless you live in California, and I don't think you can prevent forest fires there anymore. Mm-hmm. We do appreciate all you patrons because you're so patriotic, and we love patriotic people. So, yeah, do it and come to us and tell us that you're patrons at Scarefest, and we will give you a gigantic discount on this thing that we're bringing. So, no, listen, thank you so much to all of you. Some of you have been patrons from the very first. It did my heart really good the other night on the Scarefest radio, actually, when somebody talked about what our show meant to them. Mm-hmm. And that means everything to us.
Yes.
It means everything to us. Doing this for so long, coming into your car or your headphones or wherever you are, and now into your living rooms. Very, very excited. It's patreon.com/Paranormal Sideshow is the best way to help us, or just simply give us a 5-star review or whatever the stars are on however you're listening to this, on iTunes, especially on iTunes
or a subscribe, a follow,
iHeart, on Facebook, any of the places on our socials that you follow us, like Stacey said, or share us or anything like that, it helps us.
Yes.
And we're just trying to get the name out there. We think the move to Lexington is going to be huge for that because of some very, paranormal connections in the area. And we're excited about being back in more of a metro-esque area as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of excitement, hopefully we can start getting some more live in-person things together for everyone. But I'm going to go back to false advertising.
Okay.
So I've recently spoke about sea monkeys on this show.
You have. That is a real sore spot for you.
Well, yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. So my list this week, are you ready for this?
It's about sea monkeys?
Well, no, it's not about sea monkeys.
Okay.
I wish I could come up with 10 things for sea monkeys. My list, with a little help from the fine folks at cracked.com, I'm pulling a little bit. I knew which ones I wanted.
Right.
Thank God I found them.
Okay.
But so in comic books, right, there used to be a lot of crazy ads in the back. We talked about this before. But I mean, wackadoodle ads.
Right.
And they were things that as a young boy like me, I would see and I'd be very excited about. Mm-hmm. And some of them go back a couple generations, and I'm sure the young boys back then were just as excited. So I started looking through some of these, and I'm pretty excited now because they are funny how stupid us human beings can be, and especially our smaller human beings.
Right.
How excited, and it's so fun to prey on their emotions, right?
Right.
So I'm going to start number 10.
Okay.
And this list is top 10 BS items.
Right.
From comic books of yesterday.
Like mail order stuff?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So number 10, dirty sea monkeys. I got to put them on here. This is this. Even the ad, as you see right in front of your face right now, unless you're driving, and if you see this in front of your face right now, watch out! For a world of fun, grow amazing live sea monkeys. Create these real live pets with biocrystals. Now, every part of that excites me. You know what I mean? Right. Every part of that excites me. Right. So,
are biocrystals a real thing?
Dude, I'm telling you, biocrystals are probably not a real thing. So right. I was very excited about it. It was very spellmongery and high terry. And it was very cool. So I was like, just add water. And before your very eyes, you'll see adorable baby sea monkeys being born alive. Created with new patented biocrystals Sea monkeys are absolutely guaranteed to grow. Millions of boys and girls have already tried it at our risk and gasp in amazement as it worked. Now you too can own dozens and dozens of these crazy, lovable, fun pets. World famous pets are unique species. And it goes on and on and on and on. And there's a lifetime guarantee, and there's this wonderful family that you see behind us right now.
See, that's the problem. Because technically, their words are all very elaborate and, embellished, but not necessarily not true. You do grow them. But the picture is of a family of actual creatures that smile at you and such. And
I'm glad it wasn't the people in the pictures.
That just isn't the case.
The people in the pictures is horrifying.
They are kind of creepy. I never wanted them.
I did. I wanted to be their...
I always like when they say they're born alive.
I wanted to be their benign ruler and,
start a whole race of sea monkeys.
I did. Next!
Okay.
There's not many kids that didn't want a pair of these X-ray specs.
I remember these ads.
Yeah. This was only $1 at the one we're looking at right now. And, what was some of the stuff that it promised on here? Scientific optical principle really works. Imagine you put on the X-ray specs and hold your hand in front of you. You seem to be able to look right through the flesh and see the bones underneath. Look at your friend. Is that really her body you see under her clothes?
What? It doesn't say that?
Oh
my gosh.
Loads of laugh and fun at parties.
Yeah. Look, you can see under this girl's clothes. Isn't that a laugh?
Send only $1 plus 25 cents shipping or COD. Remember COD? I don't.
Oh, yeah. I do actually kind of remember that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
They used to actually collect at your house.
When I was little.
And pay postman on delivery, $1 plus COD shipping charges. Money back guarantee.
Money back guarantee. It costs you more to send it back.
I love the picture of seeing through her clothes.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of creeper thing is that? That's awful. So, weren't those just like glasses with pieces of cardboard with pinholes in them or something like that?
Yeah, they just
Something
had a hole
stupid?
in the middle of them.
Yeah, like how is that even an X-ray? It doesn't let you see through anything.
I used the X-ray contacts. So,
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're really wrong, right?
Right.
So the next one, I remember this one. They still had this one in comics when I was a kid. The Moneymaker.
The Moneymaker. Okay.
Yeah, I remember the dude, and it's so funny what it really is. So, the Moneymaker. Insert a blank piece of paper. Turn the knob. Out comes a real dollar. You can spend it. Makes 5s, 10s, 20s, and more. A mystifying trick. Order yours now. Only $1.25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and people ordered this.
So is it just a magic trick? Do you have to put $1 in it to make the dollar come out?
Yeah, the reality is you find the ad and it's so small, like it's a secret. And that was like part of the big thing,
Ah, I see.
The machine turns a ordinary paper into money, just turn the knob, real money comes out. Yeah. So it was one of those gimmicks, absolutely, like where the...
Well, it says it's a mystifying trick.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of those machines where, I mean, it's the same dollar you put in.
Right.
And it just comes out. And you can use a 5 or a 20 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it comes out with more money if you put more money in it. But kids don't know that. And they gear this stuff towards kids.
Right.
Which is terrible.
It's horrible, yeah. Joe Camel. Never look short again. Now you can be taller instantly by at least 2 full inches.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, just look at this is great. I love the dejected short guy. Like, because the chick's obviously happier with the tall guy, which I totally, hey.
Right.
Hey. So this was only $1.98. Now, how many short guys do you think wouldn't spend $1.98?
Right.
Just to see. So this was great. There's too much verbiage in this one to even get into. But the reality of it all was they were wedges. They were just wedges. And you put them in your shoes, and they make you 2 inches taller, but make you feel like you're wearing high heels. And that you probably look pretty dumb.
2 inches isn't really all that much. I don't think that if she didn't like you before, like, did you see the height difference of those two men? I'm sorry, 2 inches is not going to do it.
And the problem, that taller guy's probably probably treating her better.
It's not going to, it makes you think you're going to get the girl, which is kind of false advertising, but I guess technically it does make you taller-ish.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at this one here, folks. Frontier Cabin.
Ooh, a Frontier Cabin.
I remember this one. And this was only $1 or 5 for 4. Who wouldn't do that?
Right.
Who doesn't
What do you need 5 Frontier Cabins for?
I mean, my God, you get tired of hanging with your sister? Put her in the other Frontier Cabin.
For every member of the family.
And they were big enough for 2 to 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was only $1. Think about that. The 5 for 4. I mean, for a Frontier Cabin.
And it was big enough for how many kids?
2 to 3.
To get inside or stand around it?
So you know what the reality was?
What's that?
It was a bunch of cardboard.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cardboard. You got cardboard.
So they sent you a box.
Mm-hmm.
You send them $1, they send you a box.
They send you a box.
Was it big enough for 2 to 3 kids? I wonder.
It was 23 square feet.
Is that it? That's less than 2 feet.
Yeah.
By 2 feet. By 2 feet. What kind of size kids do they think's getting in there?
2 to 3.
Oh my goodness. 2 to 3 years old, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
wow.
This may be one of my favorites. This should have been number 1, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
God bless America. Just look at the picture.
Oh, wow.
It's the bear escape shoes.
Oh, wow.
So this is also B.F. Goodrich, which is really, I don't know. So B.F. Goodrich, bear escape shoes.
Bear escape shoes.
So I'll actually go with some of the writing here on this. What the hell? So a shoe that can help you perform such a feat as miraculous speed. The PF Flyer shoe has a rubber cushion for comfort and an amazing rigid wedge in the middle of the sole to keep your foot in place. Never worry about being able to outrun escaped circus bears ever again when you're out in the woods.
Escaped circus bears? That is very specific. Like, does this work with regular bears too? Wild bears? Or just the escaped circus kind?
Circus bears,
Is that a big problem back then?
Well, it says here, never worry about being able to outrun escaped circus bears ever again when you're out in the woods, trailblazing with your 2 young male companions.
Wow.
Yeah, you got the 2 young male companions.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
That is very specific. So they're really gearing that towards just a certain kind of person, aren't they?
I think they have their market of for bears.
I've never heard of anybody that ever owned those, but it's probably because they couldn't outrun the bear. I don't think you're supposed to run when you see a bear. I think that's really bad advice. Wow.
Oh my God. In the woods, Jim and the boys are trailblazing.
They're trailblazing.
I
bet they are.
When suddenly, holy smoke, where did he come from? This is no time to find out. Let's go, boys. On the double.
I hope they were all wearing their bear escape shoes.
Damn it, Billy.
Oh, well, I guess we're going to have to leave Billy behind. He can't keep up with us.
It's okay, Jimmy. We're absolutely going to escape the bear this time.
Yeah.
Thanks to Billy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway.
So, next. I have a completely different thought for this one. The shocker.
Oh, what?
So this is too much. This is the best thing. God bless America. This is real, folks. This is absolutely real. This is real. Okay, this is real. Wear amazing shocker and have deadly self-defense power in your hand. So it goes through all the things you see behind me right now, but the Shocker is a state-of-the-art, nearly invisible handheld self-defense system that will allow you to cripple your victims without the need for exercise or years of martial arts training. It was invented by Kiwo Migawa, a highly trained master of unarmed combat who has won over 21 titles.
Why would he need this?
Gawa saw a need for average people to have their own handheld crippling device without going through years of training to learn boring things like responsibility and proper use. The Shocker works.
Those boring things.
The Shocker works on the pneumatic cripple cushion principle, which allows air hammers to smash through solid concrete.
Wait, tell me what that principle is again.
Cripple cushion principle.
Oh, wow.
It promises even deadly result and comes with a sign of the split skull lapel pin to show everyone you're totally ready to kill a dude.
What?
The reality? The Shocker allegedly worked on pain waves, and despite the name, isn't actually electrified. It's just the thing you hold in your hand like a call button for your hospital bed, the kind you'll be using after you attempt to defend yourself with this device.
Kind of like one of those like hand buzzer gags or
Except
something.
they don't work.
Oh, yeah.
The ad really likes to hype up the idea of crippling people, which it actually does.
Yeah, yourself.
Just try to break a brick holding it like the guy shown in the ad, and you'll definitely cripple your hand.
Wow.
Oh my God, how did they get away with this stuff?
No idea. I feel like we probably have laws against this kind of stuff now.
When you carry the Shocker.
Hey, you think you can still find one of those lapel pins? I want to wear the lapel pins so people know I'm ready to kill a dude.
Don't wear something around that says you enjoy the Shocker. When you carry the Shocker, you are armed. Free this lapel pin. The sign of the split skull will be sent to you when you order the Shocker, an instruction book. We ask that you wear it at all times as a warning to would-be attackers of the fantastic power in your mind and hand.
You know, if you don't want to do those boring things like responsibility and training, you're probably not going to read the instruction booklet either.
The Shocker and its correct use is so powerful that its effect is graded into 5 crippling categories.
Oh my God, seriously?
Number 1, the tipper. Number 2, the painter. Number 3, the paralyzer. Number 4, the staggerer.
This is
And number 5, the stunner. Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
These are general categories. The secret instruction book, illustrated. Sit free with your Shocker. Explains each category. It shows how shockingly vulnerable the body is at so many points and areas.
I want to find that instruction booklet.
This may be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh. That is just... Wow.
Have you ever been in a dangerous situation?
I have not.
You're walking down a dark and lonely street with your girlfriend when 2 bullies burst out of an alley. You were anywhere talking with friends and a dangerous drunk starts a fight.
A dangerous drunk.
You were cornered. You are cornered by 2 toughs looking for trouble. You're relaxing at home and an intruder suddenly appears. Hello.
Okay.
These are just a few of the problems and dangers that can crop up unexpectedly. The newspapers are full of such sad stories. Now, with the Shocker, you have an answer where there was none before.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you wear these things on your hand, what if you touch yourself? Like, do you hurt yourself? Do you have to like just walk around with your hands out all the time and like be careful? You forget you're wearing it. You pet your dog.
Say touch yourself.
I just mean in general.
Oh, I thought you meant
No.
I thought you were asking me like.
I'm sorry. I know you just wrote a whole thing about something called the chakra, but I meant like, what if you like cross your arms or something, or you pet your dog? Are you gonna fry your dog?
You'd be like scratching your.
Yeah. You get an itch or something, your nose itches, and I mean, it's all over for you.
You just be like, yeah, no, I don't know.
Wow. Okay then.
All right then. I don't know if you're ready for this next one.
Probably not.
Hypnocoin. New pocket-sized invention helps hypnotize in minutes.
Wow.
It must work or your money back. Thrill and amaze them at parties and gatherings with fantastic hypnotic feats of memory stunts and exhibitions.
Wow.
Bonus. Free. Very small booklet of revealing secrets and instructions and large illustrations catalog. Let's see. Hold the hypnocoin in front of the person you want to hypnotize. Then gently vibrate the plastic lens. This sets the hypnotic pattern into a whirling motion. A motion that is so fascinating, it captures and rivets her eyes to hypnocoin.
See, again.
Now proceed to give your hypnotic suggestions and commands. Get this amazing hypnotic aid complete with a free revealing booklet of secrets and instructions. It tells you what to say and do, how to command and re-hypnotize with the snap of a finger, how to thrill and amaze them with hypnotic stunts, feats of strength and memory, etc. Get the coin, booklet, and large illustrated catalog for only $1. Sent in plain wrapper. Money back if not delighted. Sorry, no CODs.
Now, see, they're saying that you can amaze people at parties, but that is definitely saying to put it in front of her and hypnotize her.
Oh, it's old school roofies.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Dude.
A lot of those things were geared towards like stalkers and future stalkers.
They totally believe all those TV shows back then about girls being dumb. Like, hi, Joey. You know, because can you imagine like a little plastic thing? And it's just one of those little swirls.
Like somebody watched a lot of cartoons.
Like in front of you, like, hi, Stacey.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what the hell? So, I kind of like what they say. Buy our HypnoCoin device instruction guide, and you can make anyone do anything you want. Hypnotize a bully and have him give himself a wedgie. Or have that gal you've been giving the eyes give you a kiss. Or go even further. Makes date loving a breeze. There's no need to buy pesky pills to slip in their drink.
I mean, that's basically what it's saying.
Wow. There was another hypnotize here. Let me see. Hypnotize with any TV set on the first evening. And again, a girl in a nightie.
On the first evening of what? Like on the first date? Is that what they're saying?
So let's see what this one says. It's another hypnotize ad. Television repairman's accidental discovery makes anyone a hypnotist right away.
Oh my God, it's porn. They're roping you into porn with that. Don't even do it.
Secret method uses ordinary TV set. No electronic knowledge needed. No prior hypnotic training needed. Send no money, just name and address.
Oh, is this how they found predators back in the day? There was no internet and cell phones. They couldn't track you, so they're like, oh, we know how to hypnotize people. Send us who you are.
Send it to Elton's. Box 12167, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, wow. I bet they sold TVs.
The accident from a TV repairman. I'll have it fixed here in a second, ma'am. That's okay. You're cute. Wow. We're almost there.
Okay.
These
are some terrible false advertising ads. Okay, anyway.
Life-size inflatable doll. Now, this is expensive. Most of these have been $1.
Right.
This, because I mean it's life size.
Right.
Right?
Right.
This is $9.95.
Wow.
That's for the deluxe model.
Throwing out the big bucks, the deluxe model.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Wow.
It's for the deluxe model.
I can't wait to find out what the deluxe model
Look
has.
at that. The blonde wig or brunette wig that they come with.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if it's not deluxe, they just come bald.
Probably.
Anyway, continue.
Just add air.
Oh, okay.
Lifelike in every detail.
Blow up doll that's lifelike.
Made of soft, smooth, pliable vinyl.
Corinthian leather.
Judy looks and feels amazingly lifelike.
Judy.
Inflatable. Just add air, and instantly you have a life-size beauty. Guarantee. This is the ultra deluxe model. There is no other inflatable doll as lifelike as Judy.
Are any inflatable dolls lifelike?
You must be 100% delighted or your money will be refunded. What the hell? On down about halfway, give your daughter a Judy doll and she'll be the talk of the neighborhood with the largest doll in town. Gee, Judy, your doll looks kind of weird.
Surprised?
She take a big bottle?
Does it have a mouth like that, or is it just a doll?
Dude, it's the most lifelike doll there is.
Oh, get it for your
I'm the
kids.
most unusual gift that you can give to yourself or to a friend. If you can bear to part with me, complete package for the ultimate enjoyment of your London doll. Order Judy complete with pajamas, bikinis, and wigs in blonde or brunette.
Wow.
And there is rush ordering if so needed.
That is fantastic. Is there a picture of the doll?
No.
That's not a real doll. That's a person.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Do you think people really ordered these?
For their kids?
I hope not.
I hope not. I don't know.
It would be me. I would have got one of those from my great aunt that bought me like the generic He-Man figures.
Right, right.
And I had to play with them because she was around.
Right.
Don't make Annie feel bad. I was like, but it's made of lead. She knows. Just add air. I mean, I love the pliable vinyl. That makes me
pliable. Soft and luxurious.
So they did do some research here. Unfortunately, any young man who saved up for this miracle device quickly found out they left out a critical feature of the female anatomy, despite what the ad claims.
So not so realistic.
Yeah. So they just don't have... Now I want to know what they left out. I mean, did they leave... Did they leave, like, second base out, or did they leave...
I'm sure all the bases are not there.
Yeah. So, number 2. Okay. I don't know how many's been on this list, but I got 2 left.
You're like top 10. We didn't number any of them.
This may be one of my favorite things.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sweetheart.
Yes.
I still want this.
Okay. Even though you know it's a scam, right? What is it? Oh my gosh.
It's a monkey in a teacup.
Is that a real monkey?
It's a monkey in a teacup.
Live miniature monkey? What?
You can see it right here. Friends, here's how to get at almost no cost.
Almost no cost.
New live miniature monkey. It's a monkey in a teacup. Will you give me a home? Says the monkey. Supply limited.
I bet.
Oh, God dang. This cute little miniature monkey needs a home, and you can have one without paying a penny. This new miniature monkey is so small you can carry it in your pocket. Oh, God. Or hold it in one hand. Yet it is healthy and long-lived. So intelligent, It's almost human. Easily trained, simple handout, only 20 get. Okay, so it's really small writing and very old.
Yes.
But wouldn't it be cool to have your own pet monkey? How much would you pay to have what would undoubtedly be the coolest pet on your block? Well, me personally, you can't put a price on my monkey happiness. I love monkeys. Well,
are there monkeys that are that small?
Not anymore.
Well, I guess not.
Well, how about this offer of a small portable monkey at almost no cost?
Portable monkey.
What a perfectly reasonable offer. Reality, believe it or not, the monkey wasn't a stuffed animal. It was real.
Oh my God.
And was possible to get one. The scam was the company would send you 20 coupons to give out for their special color photos, which were actually black and white photos the customers provided that they colored in by hand for no fee. No, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, once you handed out the coupons, you actually had to bring in 20 paying customers, which was nearly impossible since the thing you were selling was retarded. But some kids actually did pull it off, and the company actually did send them a small monkey. Usually marmosets. Back then, the exotic animal trade wasn't regulated.
Right.
So they didn't realize that taking monkeys from South and Central America and giving them to kids in the United States was not a good idea.
Really? They couldn't figure that out on their own?
So what you got was a wild monkey that had been poached in the jungle, caged and shipped, arriving half dead,
right,
and in a mood to bite or claw the first human it ran into. They didn't feed it all the ship, all the way over. It was in a box.
Oh my goodness, that's awful.
Also, these monkeys can live up to 45 years in captivity, so these kids were in for the long haul.
You know, if the monkey didn't eat them as soon as they got it.
Still, they got to see the looks on their friends' faces when they showed them they had a real live monkey. And that probably made the whole thing worth it.
No, I don't think it would.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
All right, so number one.
Okay, number one.
Put it up there. The Polaris nuclear sub.
Wait, I'm sorry. You can mail order a nuclear sub?
Over 7 feet long.
Oh my God. How do they ship that?
Fires rockets and torpedoes for only $6.98.
Okay, so what in the world is our military spending all that money on?
Look at this girl.
Oh, wow. Of course there's a girl.
It's big enough for 2 kids.
It's over 7 feet long. I hope it's big enough for more than 2.
Special features. Over 7 feet long. Seats 2 kids. Controls that work.
Okay, no, kind of vague, but okay.
Rockets that fire.
Right.
Real periscope.
Okay.
Which that's worth the money.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Fires torpedoes. Well, I thought that was the rockets.
Yeah.
Anyway, electronically lit instrument panel.
Wow. That's impressive.
So, what they've got written here. How proud will you be as the commander of the most powerful weapon in the world? That's right, kids. Yes, you can command a nuclear threat capable of killing millions of people. Comes with real firing missiles and torpedoes, real periscope, and electrically lit control panel, and is 7 feet long. Have fun sinking and surfacing and exploring the ocean floor and becoming one of the world's most, strong nuclear powers. The reality on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You remember the cardboard on the log cabin?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's even worse for submarines. So, yeah, it was cardboard. And don't tell us that it's just a submarine place set. It's not meant to be taken to the sea.
No, I don't think you could, submerge in that very safely.
Yeah. I don't know how many kids tried to put this with water. And I don't think anything on there worked at all. It was all cardboard. It was just pictures of stuff. And yeah.
I mean, was there even anything you could pull a rubber band back and fire or anything?
No, it was really bad.
Definitely not nuclear.
It was really bad. It was just like a big long piece of cardboard.
Wow. Over 7 feet long.
It's not as bad as Billy's little nuclear. What was when we did the most dangerous toys? The uranium kit?
Yeah, like the chemistry set had uranium and plutonium and all kinds of crazy crap in it.
It's a true wonder that kids used to live to adulthood. I mean, isn't that nuts, dude?
It's crazy. At least those weren't false advertising, though. These ads are awful.
And dirty.
Yeah.
Very pervy.
Yes.
Seriously. What is wrong with you people? So, something really cool, just a little nugget here. Mm-hmm. We met the Spellmonger.
We did.
That was awesome.
That was really cool.
That was really cool. Mm-hmm. Terry Mancour, our favorite author. Mm-hmm. We got to meet Terry and family down in Charlotte at some con. What con was that? Yeah. It was a cool con, and I would love to be invited there sometime. I sure as hell ain't going to be invited there now, but we were down there.
Heroes Con.
Heroes Con, of course.
You know, Heroes Con.
But we got to meet Terry, lovely family, and man, Cody, I love you. Thank you so much for my birthday gift of some of the hardcover books, because I got some myself too. Yeah. And they're all autographed. Really cool stuff. Will be displayed very nicely in Lexington. Yes, they will. So, and then we fell in love with another book series. We did. I think Terry would approve. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brandon Sanderson. Yes. We just started Mistborn. Mistborn's really good. So does any of you, read Mistborn? If so, let us know, because we know. No spoilers. We're still at the beginning. Well, we're not really at the beginning. Well, we're more than halfway through the first book. Well, we're at the beginning of the series. So, speaking of being at the beginning, you're in luck, because here's Stacey Edwards in Paranormal News. So let's get to the news. Well, let's. Yes. Didn't you retire? Well, I had to come see you about that NDA. Yeah, I'd be a lot richer right now if that were the case. You're right. It wasn't you. Hey, pal. About that NDA. God bless you, Vince. Vince McMahon is retired. That's the biggest news in the universe. So, of course, the biggest news in the universe came the following Monday when the $14.6 million in hush payments he paid all the girls that he had sex with, not to talk about it, that was out of his money. The company had to redo their profit statement for the year to put that $14.6 million on their expenses because it was misallocated as his money, meaning he spent company funds to pay that off, meaning he's in trouble. Oh, well. Oh, well. Let's go to the real paranormal news. Yes, real news. Let's go. All right, so let's start with the Pentagon UFO office. So first of all, they renamed the UFO office, the one that's supposed to investigate the UAPs. Mm-hmm. And they've expanded their mission now to include transmedium objects. Well, wait, we don't talk about that stuff on here. That's too political. No. Transmedium, and as in it can go in different places like sky to ocean or space to the atmosphere to ocean. Oh, yeah. That kind of topic. I mean, absolutely. I was just, Paranormal Sideshow is for everyone. That's right. We don't want to exclude. Right. So ocean aliens, mm-hmm. Sky aliens, illegal aliens. You know why the spaceships go from space to the atmosphere to the ocean, don't you? To drop off the octopus. I mean, come on. The octopus is driving. They're aliens. Come on, the octopus is driving. I think when I think of octopi, I think of cool little DJs with little hats. Because can you imagine how many things they could, I mean, they got so many arms. I feel like that was in a cartoon somewhere. Maybe. It should be, if it's not. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, they have changed the name of the office. It was formerly known as the Airborne Object Identification and Management Group. Way too much.
Yes, and you can't even say anything with that acronym. It's terrible. And now it's going to be known as the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. Doesn't really say anything either, but...
Oh.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue a little easier.
Oh.
I think it's funny it's called the Anomaly Resolution Office. Like, they're going to take care of that stuff. They're going to be like, oh, there's an anomaly. Let's take care of that. So with the new name comes increased responsibilities. They said that while they were mostly focused on airborne threats and in space, now they're going to be doing the transmedium objects to cover all the things, USOs and things that people claim they see under the ground. So
that's, I mean, look, we know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, we know. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's been watching anything recently, too, it's almost like the aliens have been teasing them.
Right, right.
They've been like, oh, hey, there's another one. There's another one, Nick. Go ahead, turn the ocean red.
You gonna tell someone?
We're down here. It's like they're mooning. Yeah.
Well, it does say in this article that...
You've seen that, right? All the red ocean. And
and the red skies and the weirdness.
Yeah, but the ocean thing's happened several times.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
a lot of weird stuff going on.
And what is that? What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's like the earth is like, okay, I'm fed up. I'm going to start doing weird stuff. So included in this article was they were talking about how the House voted last week to create, they did the creating the government system for reporting UFOs. And it's an actual amendment that you can read. And I looked over it and I thought it was really interesting because in it, it actually says that anyone that reports seeing any kind of anomaly, if they feel like they have been discriminated against at work for reporting that, then they can actually sue, take a civic lawsuit out on it.
I've totally been discriminated.
Have you? I mean, that's not exactly how it's worded. Obviously, it's worded better, but
people have been like, "Oh, hey, alien boy."
So, I mean, I think that's great because now if a pilot reports it and they can't be like, great. Hush or demote them or anything like that because now they can take action against that.
It's fantastic because that was one of the fears all these years was that would happen. And and especially like places like, American Airlines or something,
right.
Like you've always had this fear of, well, they're going to say I'm crazy. In the military, it's more of the hush-hush mentality, right?
Right, so right. And you feel honor-bound to follow those rules because the whole thing about being in the military is you follow,
right.
your direction. So
this is...
So I like this. I think if nothing else comes out of all of this UAP stuff, at least that is done. That's a good thing. I
think there's already been a huge shift.
Right.
With everything that's happened the last few years, to your point, I think there's been a huge shift in the way that the entire phenomenon is looked at from, people like us to people in the military to pilots to, boots on the ground amateurs, honestly.
Right.
There's been a huge shift. I've even noticed a shift on the television shows where they're more serious and more scientific based.
Yeah, and they don't do the X-Files music now when they talk about it. So sometimes. I haven't seen any tinfoil hats recently, but it's like we were talking about on Scarefest TV the other night, how now that it's out in the open, people talk about it. It's a whole different mentality now.
Yeah, and plus...
And we talked about the paranormal, how ghost shows did that for the paranormal. And so now this is sort of doing that for ufology.
Well, with everything people have seen in the last few years, they're kind of like... okay.
Well, to go along with this story, I thought this was really interesting because, we had the big Senate hearings, and it's sort of like everybody around the world is sort of doing the same thing. And this is an article about a Senate hearing in Brazil. So there's a recent Brazilian Senate hearing where they convened to hear testimony from the country's leading researchers. Now, let me tell you, I've read about this one, and they did it right.
Do they? They normally do.
They did. So this was held back in June, and it was organized to address the Brazilian military's history of involvement with unusual aerial objects. Which is quite a storied history, actually. Right. They've got a lot of good stuff down there. They do. And now, back in April, there was actually a filing of an official Senate requirement that called for the public hearings on UAPs, sort of following what, the United States was doing. And a translated portion of that Senate requirement actually cited a 1954 press event in Rio de Janeiro where the current captain of the Brazilian Air Force said, and this is a quote, he declared to those present the reality of these flying objects and their advanced technological characteristics.
Wow.
In 1954.
Yeah.
And so they went ahead and mentioned that. Now, whenever they had this event, they brought in several guests. They brought in former federal Representative Wilson Pickler, who talked about like surveys about how many people believed in UAPs now and things like that. Brazilian experts on UAPs who presented outlines of the country's history, like you were talking about the whole history of the involvement with UAPs and sightings. Among some of those historic events, they highlighted like May 19th, 1986, where there was sightings of 21 large unidentified flying objects over Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. And some of them, were huge objects, estimated to be like 100 meters. Even detected on radar. Like, it was a huge mass sighting. They've
had some earlier in this year. It was some crop circles, not crop circle, but some landings.
Yeah.
That made big news and stuff. But that's happened before. They've had some big time, like personal encounter ones that I've read about from down there. So.
Right. And they even said that, several fighter jets were even scrambled from the Air Force, the Air Defense Center, to take care of that. They talked about how they had Operation Pareto in 1977 and a lot of different events that they were talking about. They even had U.S. Air Force Captain Robert Salas, who addressed them about the UAP issue and events at nuclear weapons sites.
There you go.
So here's the difference between their Senate hearing and ours, where ours, everybody acted like they had no idea what they were talking about.
Ours was big phony baloney.
I've not heard anything about that before.
Right.
I mean, how embarrassing for us.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So I thought this was really great. You can go through there and read everything that everybody said. There's a really good write-up about it. And people were really impressed with the depth of how far they went into the subject and how many facts that they presented. They did say that there were high-ranking officers in attendance sent on behalf of the Brazilian Air Force, which they felt like was a good sign that they were really interested in the subject. There were other commanders from armed forces that did not show, like they declined. But for the most part, it was very positive, very in-depth, and taken very seriously.
So what year was the one that they go back to 57, you said?
They talked about a 1954 press event, but then it was a whole timeline of all different...
the one I was remembering was an abductee one with Antonio Villas-Boas, Brazilian farmer who claimed to have been abducted by extraterrestrials in 1957. And similar stories that circulated for years beforehand. His claims were among the first alien abduction stories to receive wide attention.
Right.
And so that was just one that I remember just because it was one of the OGs.
Right,
in that little world, its own little...
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting. I wish we could watch it like we watched ours. That would be really interesting.
I'm sure we can.
I'm sure we can find it somewhere. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the James Webb Telescope for a moment.
Let's do it. My God.
So recently there was a story that came out in New Scientist about the James Webb Telescope and how they silently released this really awesome picture of Jupiter that it took. Now, supposedly it took this picture when it was doing some testing of its near-infrared camera, or NIRCam. And they used two different filters. But the odd thing about this picture is they didn't really talk about it a whole lot. But in one of the pictures is a very strange shadow on the picture. Now, they say that is just the shadow of Europa.
Yeah.
But it was only in one picture. It wasn't in the other. I don't know. It was a little odd. I
mean, it was a little odd. It was like having a bunny standing right here and having a shadow of a werewolf back here.
So, yeah, I don't know. Very strange. And
it was more of like, I mean, the shadow looked like a big box instead of Europa. I don't know. It was weird. It was
very weird.
But there again, maybe they just wouldn't even show us the picture if it was something too bad, right? True. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like they released it for public consumption.
No, it's
specifically.
It was weird how they did it anyway. It was, but
But they also had an article out about the James Webb Telescope and how it could possibly see biosignatures on distant planets. And so how they want to use it as a tool to possibly find some signs of life on other planets.
In the matter of hours.
Yeah.
They can tell if there's people farting on the planet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it has something to do with the way the light mixes with, the oxygen or other chemicals. And supposedly, since they know how that works on Earth, they can kind of sense and see if they can find that on other planets.
That's freaking amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's really cool. I mean, that's all I would do.
Yeah, I know. I just look at every single planet that you came by.
So what all can this thing do? I just need to know. Oh, like with a telescope, sir. I know, Johnson. But what can it do?
Right.
Well, it can, it could take the closest pictures of the beginning of time, of the actual beginning of time. Well, I mean, for us, like as far back as we could see, you had the Big Bang, and then you have, right around there, didn't Hubble just take some pictures of some little galaxies and stuff we didn't even know were there that was hidden behind some gas? And but this one's clear. Okay, all right, that's cool. I mean, we're going to see much more than ever. Okay, anything else? Well, I mean, it can point at planets and see if there's biosignatures of life. Why don't we lead with that?
But we're not going to do that. And I think they are going to try and do that. Yeah, I mean, you would think that would be a bigger deal, but it's very cool. I hope that I
would call it the Biosignature Life Telescope.
Right.
I mean, it's just me.
Well, the funny thing about it is those tests that they were doing when they took that Jupiter picture, they were testing if they could track objects at high speeds, like comets, interstellar objects, it said, things like that. So if they could track high-speed objects and check for biosignatures of life at the same time, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So could use that for all kinds of things.
You actually could.
All right, so let's move on. So while we're talking about space, let's talk about the Perseverance rover and how it's been finding some really unusual things on Mars lately.
Perseverance was feeling left out.
Yeah, it was like, I need to find something freaky. So over the last few weeks, they have sent some pictures down with some very odd items that they're finding on Mars. And the most recent is this strange, what they're calling a spaghetti-like object. It's a really weird picture. It does look like just a big bundle of noodles sitting right there on Mars. And they don't actually know exactly what it is, but the most likely explanation, I love how they do that, like the most likely explanation, and then everybody takes it like that's what it is. But the most likely explanation is that it's a bit of the debris that was released by Perseverance itself, possibly during its parachute-assisted landing maneuver back in February of 2021, back. And that supposedly the parachute that it landed with, and it broke up, and pieces of it are all over the place. So...
Did it...
Oh, it's gone, by the way.
What?
It's gone. It's not where it was. It just, blew away or whatever. Yeah, it's not there anymore.
It's really weird looking.
It is very weird looking.
It looked like somebody ordered Chinese takeout and spilled it.
They were like, "Oh, that thing's coming, quick, run!" And they dropped their food.
The same stuff that cleans everything.
So back in, I think, like April of this year, they located the parachute that it used to land on Mars. And then in June, there was this shiny piece of foil kind of stuck on a rock. And that was another weird thing that they found. And they decided that it was part of the thermal blanket that was used.
Always.
But one thing that they said, that it was how surprising it was to find it there, because it was like over a mile away from where it landed. So they thought that was really odd. and possibly it just, blew away. It just, there's just trash blowing all over the place on Mars there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, we've landed this rover, and all of a sudden, all this stuff's blowing everywhere.
I mean,
I don't remember ever seeing any of that kind of stuff before. How did the other rovers get down there? They just drop them from a big height? No parachutes or anything?
I mean, it's really weird about it don't look like a parachute. I mean, it was like spaghetti strings.
Yeah, they're thinking that was like the strings from the parachute, I guess.
I get what they're thinking, but...
I don't know. Very strange.
Well, hopefully whatever it is, it's planning this stuff is like getting ready for the big reveal. Like,
yeah. It's been coming out of that doorway that they found in the rock, remember? And like spreading stuff around and then ducking back in there.
Yeah.
The doorway, not a doorway.
Yeah, the doorway, not doorway is still a pretty cool picture. So I don't know. Man, those rovers have been strange for a long time.
They really have.
We've had ones where it was like, well, there's no way that thing's ever going to pick up anything ever again. It's completely dirty. And then like the next time you see it, it's all waxed, it's armor all.
It's a little card and it says thank you for your business.
Yeah, it's got a date for when you need to return service. And
have this cleaned every 3,000 miles, please.
And there's no it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It just doesn't. I mean, there's been a lot of things we've seen up there. And I'll tell you this much. We make fun of the artifacts all the time, right? Mm-hmm. We always we're looking at that like, come on, people. It's Marsadelia. You're just seeing stuff.
That's not a body laying there.
Right. But some of these pictures and some of these rocks that I have seen what look like statue heads and such, and very Egyptian-esque, which, the story there, we kind of feel that, that's connected anyway.
Right.
But I do see a lot of that. And it always makes me think of some of the ruins we have here, that are so old. Mm-hmm. They seem like there was some huge, cataclysm that may have happened that, like Pumapunku, right?
Right.
It's unbelievable. And the doorways and all this and unbelievable. And even where it was built is just stupid. Like, it's like, well, we couldn't breathe, but we did this stuff with a freaking chisel.
Right.
That they didn't even have a chisel, not even a good one. Like
a pointy
chisel.
stick.
Yeah. And it was so exact that we still can't really do it that exact when we try. Unless you had some very high quality. I wanted to do David Childress's voice. High quality laser cutting utensils or whatever. But all joking aside, when you see enough of this stuff, how do you not just go, well, seriously, how did you do it?
Yeah.
How? I understand, Mr. and Mrs. NASA or Mr. and Mrs. Egyptologist. No, you're right. No, I've got crazy theories and it's pseudoscience. I understand. But humor me. Don't give me any 20-minute stupid, diversion. Mm-hmm. Humor me. How did primitive people that were not able by what they had available to do any of this stuff? I mean, how was it done? How was precision edges made and cut? How were they able to move things that we still would have to get special cranes to move and place, and not just move, but stack and cut the damn things and move them around? How was that done? And why would you exert that effort? India, look at that. How was a lot of these things done, and worldwide? And why is it when we do find these things, the first thing that seems to be done is we try to fit them in a stupid box? Because we have I don't know box, it could be this box, and the dumbass box. And every time we find one of those things, you want to shove it in the dumbass box. And that box has been full for a long time since, we took all the giant bones and threw them all in there.
Right, those take up a lot of space.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous to me that we don't put all of our efforts toward that, because looking at it objectively, which I have really done because I don't want to spend my whole life wondering about something that had a simple solution. I just didn't. I'm not that guy. So it really freaking bothers me, things like that. It really, really does. Who did that? Where did that technology go? Where did it come from? And there is no way. Just give me an answer, a real answer. But there's not one, because they would absolutely give it to us if there was one.
Right.
And, a lot of that stuff with these planets and Mars and, monolith, by the way, that we had Buzz Aldrin even say, go look at that. Mm-hmm. Phobos, go look at that. Well, the first thing I would do if I was in charge of NASA is I'd be like, damn him, that crazy old kook. Let's go straight there.
Right. And show them that it's not.
Let's go straight there and show them and disprove it just so they'll hush up. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we do. We still just avoid it, or we come up with something, or like you were talking earlier with the hearings. Mm-hmm. We have the hearings and they just deny and act like they've never heard.
They just act like they don't know. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Some of the most famous stories
What's Mars?
ever. You're going to a UFO hearing, a UAP hearing. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you don't prep enough to know some of the most famous things that have ever happened. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I've never heard that. Oh, I'm sure I could look that up. And,
Well, except for that one guy that was like, what about this?
Well, yeah,
he was the hero.
About. That's what I'm talking about. The one hero. And they acted like they didn't hear any of that. It's just more of the same. And it unfortunately always will, until a few of you brave souls, you brave souls can either decide, I'll keep towing this line and living with this knowledge, or I will absolutely blow the whole lid off of it. Because I don't want to be part of this. I am protected now because of this new law.
Right.
So that protection should honestly work a bit retroactively. I would at least push that and say, okay, well, I'm protected now about reporting these things. So guess what? I was on an Apollo mission. And on that Apollo mission, I met, Nanu and his cousin Cuckoo from the planet Lulu.
Yeah. They come by and moon our planet all the time.
All the time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Would it not work now? Would that not be just fine? Would the protections not...
yeah, because you're just now reporting it.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to be protected when it happened.
I'm just saying, like, I would present that and be like, okay, look, I don't want to be like blackballed here. Obviously, but and even somebody working now at one of these agencies that may listen to podcasts about subjects on your spare time because you hate yourself for the secrets you keep inside. What a wonderful time for you to come forward. And don't come forward to one of these places they hate. Get a hold of me. That's right. Get a hold of Stace. We'll absolutely put it out for you. I even got a hashtag for this.
Oh, what is it?
I was thinking about it. Hashtag come out to John.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, you see, because they can tell me about the UFO secrets they're hiding.
Right.
Or even about some cool, abduction experience or something they've kept inside and it's really been bothering them and changed who they are. It caused depression and all these horrible things most of their life. And they were afraid of the ridicule from even like family members or people they work with. And they're not allowed just to be them.
That's right.
And that would suck.
That'd be awful.
But people do suck.
Yes.
So I don't want them to suck anymore.
All right. New hashtag.
So the hashtag come out to John.
There you go.
I felt a lot better when I came out because I'd held that stuff in since childhood. And, it was like one of those deals that I had to talk about that, things I remembered in my memories and stuff. So.
Yes. All right. So let's move on.
Let's.
All right, I just wanted to mention this. It happened a couple weeks ago, and it's about the Georgia Guidestones.
Ah!
Yes, those conspiracy theory-ridden Georgia Guidestones. I was really tickled when I was reading this story. Of course, there was an explosion. Somebody tried to blow them up.
What?
Yeah, I know. They got it, sort of got it on video. You can see the blast, but you can't really see the people that did it. And they still have not caught anybody now, even however many weeks, later. They haven't caught anybody. But I thought this was funny because if you go to Georgia's tourism website, apparently they call it America's Stonehenge. And they say it's known as America's Stonehenge. That's what everybody calls it. America's Stonehenge. Do you call it America's Stonehenge?
I called it America's pimple on America's ass. It's a terrible thing.
It is, but it's huge for tourism, apparently, so they really push it. So supposedly, it's a 19-foot high monument, has the 10-part message in all the different languages.
Why don't they push that awesome stone mountain they have?
I don't know.
Well, it's got those guys that fought in that war, and
yeah. So, and it has the message on it, that some people claim is more of a trying to push a one world order. That's the conspiracy theory.
I just want to kill.
And, they claim that the Guidestones
population
also served as an astronomical calendar. And every day at noon, the sun would shine through a narrow hole in the structure and illuminate the day's date on an engraving. So it's kind of a cool thing to see.
The sun don't have to make that narrow hole anymore.
I know. The sun's off the hook.
Big hole.
So somebody blew it up. It was built in 1980. It's made of granite. And supposedly nobody has any idea who funded it. Now, there was a man from the Elberton Granite Association that crafted it and built it. But the person that funded it only gave the pseudonym Robert C. Christian. Nobody actually knows who it was. And the Elberton Granite Association, they're the ones that maintained the monument. So now they're talking about what they're going to do now that it's gone. Because once they had the explosion, Georgia, they decided, this is a safety hazard. They just tore the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Like almost immediately.
Yeah.
It wasn't very long. They were like, we got to take this down now. And they took it down. So now they're trying to decide if they want to rebuild it, which I hope is a no, or do something else with that plot of land. So let's move on to this story about a 30,000-year-old baby woolly mammoth that was discovered in Yukon's Klondike goldfields that is nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
I think it's time that we've had a talk about your baby. I know you're very attached.
Right.
But, Mrs. Mammoth, I think that 30,000 years is maybe a bit old for nursing your baby mammoth.
So a gold miner found a mummified baby woolly mammoth, and
see what happens? You let it go too long, and they become mummified.
That's what happens, mummified. And according to a press release from the local government, the female baby mammoth had been named Nuncho-Ga. They gave it a name. I don't know.
Close to none your business.
It translates to big baby animal.
Does it?
It does. He's the most, or she, excuse me. She's the most
never going to be
complete,
like our own. She's named Big Baby Animal.
She's the most complete mummified mammoth discovered in North America. And of course, scientists are very excited because, there's that company out there that wants to bring the mammoth back to life.
You talking about Dolly and Company?
Yeah, there's this one particular company and they call it the de-extinction. They want to de-extinct the woolly mammoth. And now they have this perfectly near perfect.
Sounds like a place that castrates males.
Preserve.
Hello. My name is Elga. And I work at de-extinction. You think you deserve? It's what they say. Oh, it made me money. You want to mansplain to me? Huh? Oh, woolly mammoths will be female. everything female. After you sign off with the extinction.
I'm sure it's exactly how it goes. They said it had intact toenails, hair, hide, trunk, intestines, and its last meal of grass was still present.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell what was with the grass. Mm-hmm. That's kind. I mean, that really is interesting.
It is very cool. It's supposedly the most amazing find, paleontology find that they've had
of all time.
Well, in America, I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't know. They just that one scientist said it was the most important one he's ever been a part of, and that it was very exciting. And
he also said, "I can't wait for day 2." I'm just saying, a little perspective here.
Oh, well, let's move on.
Let's.
Okay. So let's talk about the...
I'm not really scared if they clone mammoths.
You're not?
I mean, I don't want them to clone anything.
Right.
But, they've already got clones of humans. I mean, there's no way they don't. Right?
I would think.
Right.
I mean, I would think.
We already have a problem with, I don't know, that one, that particular strain, pal, that, tell you what, pal, yeah, that one could wipe out humanity. Not sure weaponizing is such a good idea. Just, why did you just spit in my eye for? Ralph was later seen trying to make it to the plane as this happened. That was Ralph. If this could happen to Ralph, what could happen to you? That's right. We'll clone anything. We'll try anything in the name of science. Or war. Or money. Yeah.
Mostly money.
So, I mean, they cloned a sheep.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Which was eerie.
They've cloned mice, I believe, haven't they?
They've cloned a lot of things.
Yeah, monkeys, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they clone these things in countries where where I call them the fish to fry countries.
Right.
I mean, somebody comes to, the president and they're like, Mr. President, you won't believe what insert bad country here is doing with the geese, sir.
With the geese. Oh, no, not the geese.
I appreciate your concern, Johnson. But we got bigger fish to fry in same country mentioned than geese.
I gotcha. All right, I have a few more stories for us.
Okay.
And this first one is about a potentially haunted item.
This isn't the show for that.
It's not?
I thought this was government conspiracies and people who get you there.
I mean, it kind of is, but it's also a haunted object show too.
I'm easy.
Okay. So this is about a possibly haunted Hello Kitty stuffed animal.
Haunted?
Haunted.
Haunted?
Haunted.
That's like when you're really scared?
Yes, exactly.
Haunted?
So in Thailand.
Hello, Kitty. Hello.
In Thailand, a CCTV footage came out showing a couple at a junkyard breaking into a car that had been in a car accident.
Right.
And in the back of the car was a very large stuffed Hello Kitty doll. And I guess they wanted it. I mean, those things are kind of expensive. And the doll wasn't injured or hurt in any way. Unfortunately, the person who was driving the car did die in the accident. But, and the car was there and it was totaled, but the doll was fine.
And they just left the damn cat in there?
I guess nobody came to claim any of the property out of the car. So these two people, I guess, they must have seen it. I'm not sure. You just see on the CCTV footage that they walk up to the car and they kind of break into the car, they take the doll and they leave. So the funny part about it is the very next night, about 2:00 in the morning, you see them come back with the doll. And the woman walks over to the car and throws the doll down on the ground face down and then leaves. just bringing it back. And so they were able to identify the thieves. And when they were asked about their motives for what they did, the woman claimed that the night after they took the doll, that she saw a shadow of a little girl in her bedroom, and then she felt like something was choking her. So they immediately believed that it was because they took that. And so they just took it right back to where they found it.
What if, and just a theory, what if the doll was haunted before the car wreck? And let's just say Mr. Where did this happen?
Thailand.
Let's just say Mr. Never mind. Let's say Mr. Johnson was driving along. I just thought about Stacey and something she said on that paranormal show we did.
Scarefest TV.
Oh, was that it?
It was Scarefest TV.
Was it Scarefest TV? That should be in the archives, right?
Yeah, you can find it online.
This is a deep dive, and if you care that much to find out what I'm talking about right now by going to Scarefest TV and listening to a story very similar to this one. Not the same. It's kind of like Vanilla Ice explaining their borrowing of that Queen riff.
Right. Why Ice Ice Baby wasn't the same.
Press Under Pressure.
Yeah.
When he was like, nah, dog, nah. See, there's goes da 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 da. It goes da 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 da. Or something like that, right?
I don't know. It sounded exactly
I thought it was
the same.
exactly the same when he did it. Like,
yeah,
that was
I
the
think
funny
there's
part.
like an extra note at the beginning or something, like something super, you would never even notice it.
So anyway, Mr. Johnson was driving his vehicle, and all of a sudden in his rearview mirror, he sees meow. Meow. You know,
wow.
It's a demonic Hello Kitty cat.
I mean, I completely believe that.
Oh, the Hello Kitty is
Hello
Satan.
Kitty. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Satan, like that was on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we making this year, man? Satan devil.
You know? And because it's a little like strap-on wearing like pygmy demon.
A little cute doll.
No, I'm talking about like a foot tall associate of Mephisto here.
Oh, I see.
And they're down in hell, and he's got the double spike chains on, and
right.
He's wearing like an ass piece and all this stuff, you know. And he's like,
You're picturing like little things from Army of Darkness, aren't you? The little evil ashes.
No. I'm picturing like a little ghouly looking thing, like a little pot-bellied, you know, like I said, strap-on wearing, fake ass cheek wearing.
Oh no.
Like
right.
Foot tall. Imagine, you know, when you see, which was the, who was the height enhanced actor that played like Willow and all the Star Wars? I was trying to think what the proper way to say that was.
Vertically challenged.
It's not height enhanced, is it?
No, but I kind of like that. Height enhanced.
But you know when you see him out of costume?
Right.
Actually, the little one that played R2. That might be the same person. They all look... the Star Wars actors.
Right.
They all looked exactly alike when they came out of costume. Mm-hmm. It's probably all the same person, though.
It could have been.
They're like, hey, there's R2-D2. Oh, hey, there's Weeblo. Oh, hey, there's Salacious Crumb. Salacious Crumb, I hope, was actually a hand puppet.
I think he probably
I hope they didn't spit some little dude in there.
We need a specifically very small person for this.
But back to Satan.
Right.
It's always back to Satan. You know, his little buddy there was just like,
Ooh, devil man. This year, what we need.
what is it we need?
We need a Hello Kitty. That's it. We'll call it Hello Kitty, and it'll be devilish, and everybody will have to collect it, especially Asian countries.
We'll make them expensive.
Yeah. I'm just saying it could have been that, chicken or egg, right?
Right. I think the moral of the story is, don't take things from haunted places. Although I don't guess they knew the car was haunted, but if it was in an accident, it's iffy.
Don't take stuff out of junkyards.
Yeah. Yeah, don't steal things.
The problem is Thailand obviously don't have junkyard dogs. They got little teacup dogs over there guarding the junkyards. Little Taiwanese hounds or whatever.
Maybe they don't like dogs there.
Well, they like dogs.
Maybe they like dogs too much.
Oddly enough, there was no dogs at the junkyard.
All right, let's move on, shall we? Okay. So here's a story from Oklahoma.
Maybe the most insensitive story we've ever done. Ever. Ever.
Ever. I just went all over the place.
Haunted.
Should we put an apology on the screen? All right. Story from Oklahoma. It's just going downhill from here.
That's
people.
what we need is a story from Oklahoma.
Yes. So an Oklahoma man is facing a murder charge.
You know, what a slutty ass movie that is. What? When I finally watched my whole life, I avoided Oklahoma, the musical.
That is a fantastic movie.
And it's one of Stacey's favorite movies, right?
It's my grandmother's favorite.
It's one of Stacey and her grandmother's favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally watched it, there's this tart in this movie that sings this song, like not very far in, like, well, I don't know about you, Jezebel, but I like to lift my boots just for looks. I like to put out my tush just for loving.
You missed the whole point of the song. She used to be fat and ugly, and then all of a sudden she got pretty, and she had a hard time saying no because the boys were paying attention to her. And she was singing that she knew she shouldn't, but she had a hard time saying no because it got to her when people complimented her because she was always so...
Maybe that first line was what I missed.
Yeah, I think you missed the beginning of the song. You just got to the part where she couldn't say no.
Basically.
There are some questionable things in that. You know, there's the one part where the main character, the Curly, he goes down to the shed and he tries to convince the farmhand to hang himself, and how everybody would cry and weep at his funeral, and he would finally know how much everybody really appreciated him if he just, you know, offed himself.
He did that with the song too, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a song. Poor Judd is dead.
Anyway, back to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma story. Oh, so an Oklahoma man is facing a murder charge after he allegedly killed his friend. And the deputy said that
was he allegedly his friend, or that he allegedly killed him?
Allegedly for both, I suppose. He claimed that the victim had summoned Bigfoot to kill him, so he had to kill his friend.
How the bleep do you summon Bigfoot?
I don't know, and I guess we'll find out because he killed his friend that he said was summoning Bigfoot.
Oh, wait, I know. I saw it on a paranormal show one time.
You did?
Yeah, there was a paranormal expert couple that could speak Bigfootian.
Bigfootian?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing talent.
It's been a long time, but I could remember. I think that it was like...
Might be able to find that.
It was like they did a combination of like tree knocks and like...
Hey, easy with that. Easy with that. Oh, Bigfoot coming around here.
You're right.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
So anyway, 53-year-old Larry Sanders was with his friend Jimmy Knighton, and they were noodling. I had to look up what noodling was because I didn't know what that was. It's fishing for catfish. You know, where you put your hand down in the water and you let the catfish bite your hand and then you pull it out of the water. Do
you always use your hand?
I mean...
When there's two of you?
I don't know. It's called hand fishing. I've never been. That's supposed to be the way it goes.
Oh.
Are we trying to uncover the real reason he killed his friend? So...
Larry Sanders Show.
They had a confrontation, and Sanders allegedly struck and strangled Knighton. And they say he appeared to be under the influence of something. And he claimed that his friend had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill him. They weren't able to locate the victim's body immediately. It took them until a few days later to locate the body. So now that they've sent it off to be, an autopsy, and I mean, they know how he died because the guy admitted it. But he's being charged with first-degree murder, and it's going to have to go answer for his noodling crime. I don't know. Weird story.
There's so much wrong with that story.
I know.
That I don't even want to make a joke. Just go on. Noodling it's done.
Okay, well, speaking of weird stories, let's move to Florida.
Always.
Yes. Well,
let's move to Florida.
There's a couple of stories I have here from Florida of very strange things that happened that have a little paranormal twist. So this first one is from Pinellas County, Florida, where a Florida man was arrested after deputies said that he was caught on camera setting his boss's house on fire because he claimed that spirits told him to.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't actually have a quarrel with his boss, and people that saw him at the scene recognized him as an employee. It was a house that was being built, and he went at night and set the house on fire, and they caught him on camera, and he was riding away on his bike, and then caught him, and he was arrested, but he did claim he started the fire because spirits told him to. He wasn't upset with his employer or anything. He had to do it.
He was escaping on his bike.
Yeah, apparently he rides a bike.
Was it his employer at the lemonade stand or?
No, I guess I don't know. I don't know if he's like a construction guy or.
A lot of those ride bikes. They have little bike racks at most construction sites. They get sometimes I see the guys like the foreman will have those old bikes from the 20s that have like the 5 seats.
Right.
And they all
just ride to work together, carpool.
They all like do their like legs together. They all like bicycle together, you know? I'll pass them and stuff on the road. They'll just be like, hey, how's it going?
All I could think of when I read the story was Poltergeist. Like, you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the graves. They're building a house there. So, he's going to be in trouble with that. I don't know. It was very strange.
I don't know why. I mean, the spirits should be in trouble.
That's right.
They orchestrated this mess.
Well, also in Florida recently, a Florida man was arrested because he was accused of stealing a pickup truck and driving to a Space Force base to warn the government about extraterrestrial and mythical creatures.
What's wrong with that?
Well, he did steal a truck.
To warn us.
So his name's Corey Johnson. He was arrested at the Patrick Space Force base when he attempted to get on the base, and he explained to the authorities
Can't yell it from the gate.
He explained to the authorities that he was told by the president in his head that he needed to warn.
Do you realize how much I believe this?
To warn the government that there was U.S. aliens fighting with Chinese dragons.
Holy shit, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and he stole
U.S. aliens versus Chinese dragons?
Yes. Well, allegedly, now he was arrested. He's being charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle. That's why he was arrested. So he wasn't arrested for trying to warn people about the aliens, dragons. I'm sorry.
This is the most amazing thing. The storylines. Mm-hmm. These aliens that we rescued from a crash in 1947 have been growing and living amongst us all these years. Mm-hmm. They really love hamburgers and chocolate bars.
Apparently.
And they hear about the dragons being reborn. How amazing.
At least he tried to warn somebody,
Well, I kind of want to see this one play out.
Although
they use it like Vacant Island.
I don't know why the president would tell him in his head to warn the government when the president could just warn the government.
The government's not going to listen to the president.
That's true. This is true.
Silly girl.
Oh, all right. Let's move on. So here's a story from Japan. And authorities in a Japanese city are on the hunt for a wild monkey that's attacked more than a dozen people. And this happened over a couple of weeks. There were several attacks. According to local media reports.
Watch out!
It's a macaque.
Ah,
Yeah.
I love macaque.
His reign of terror began a few weeks ago in a residential neighborhood where it burst into a nursery school and bit a little girl. There was one story where a woman was vacuuming
Went and bought my little girl.
She heard her child crying, and she turned around, and the monkey had gotten in the house and grabbed her daughter by the legs and was trying to pull her out of the house. And so she scared the monkey off.
How'd she scare the monkey off?
I don't know. She had a vacuum cleaner in her hand.
Then she just turned it on, and
I'm not sure. I would have done everything. I've been throwing stuff at it and running at it.
Yeah, it'd be mounted on my wall.
Yeah, but you can't even walk around these residential areas because it will run at them and bite people and scratch them. So it's just gone crazy. And, it's one of those things, like they've issued a warning to residents about the monkey and advised people living in the city to keep their windows closed until they can capture it, because I think it's one of those breeds that is supposed to be protected for some reason.
Next level monkeypox.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's like space herpes.
I understand that they're trying to protect species and things, but this is not the first story like this.
No.
And
they can, when you go to one of those old temples or whatever, those macaques can throw poo at you.
We've had stories where they threw bricks on people.
Yeah.
And where they took puppies. Remember those stories where they were killing the puppies? Oh my gosh, they're horrible.
They're so terrible.
You
know why, though? It was years and years of being kidnapped and shipped to America for small children in boxes.
They stole our baby monkeys and put them in teacups and gave them to children.
Is that how they talk? Like some kind of native from like a racist 1950s show?
Yes, something like that, yes.
Hello, white man. You take my people and stuff in shoebox. In your teacup. Me no like you. Me bite your daughter.
We have one more story.
Let's.
All right. So this last story is about some badgers. It's about an elderly grandmother who was left spooked after a human skull and dozens of bones were dumped in her garden by grave-wrecking badgers.
Oh, no, not the grave-wrecking badgers.
Yes. So this poor woman, she's 88. She called the police after making the discovery where she saw jawbones and femurs and a skull in her flower beds. And she was so worried. She thought something had happened in her backyard. But
it's the grave-wrecking badger.
Well, the officers discovered that there was a colony of badgers dragging the remains into her garden from a nearby cemetery. And so the family has appealed to the council for help, but they can only relocate the badgers because later when the breeding season's over, because guess what? They're protected animals. Can't just shoot them when they come in your yard. So the badgers are tunneling under the graves, and when they come across one that has a collapsed coffin in it, they just drag the bones out of their tunnels because they don't want that in there. And then they leave it in this poor woman's gardens. And when the police showed up, there was human remains everywhere. They sealed it off like it was a crime scene. They had no idea what was going on. So yeah. She said it was very distressing. I'm sure it's distressing for the people that had their relatives buried in that cemetery.
Found out it was the grave-wrecking badgers.
The grave-wrecking badgers.
Grave-wrecking badgers. Well, cemetery better than a seminary, so.
Oh, I don't think I want to go around. There's some angry ghosts in that cemetery.
Or some very disturbed ones, yeah. The ghosts are human too. They're probably all huddled up behind a tree.
Hey, badgers are scary.
Yeah.
They're mean.
Well, apparently.
Okay. Anyway. That's all my news.
You know what? We started off well.
Did we though?
It's all subjective.
Right. I did warn that it was going all downhill. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I did warn you.
And on that horrible disappointment, her name's Stacey. My name is John. So long from the sideshow.
Good night.